good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are. We're going to have an Up Your Vibe tribe call or Up Your Vibe call. And today, our goal is actually my goal is to talk about these really cool tools that assist the body's natural healing. So there's 0 point energy, but we're not going to start there. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving 2026. So let us just start with some breathing because I had a very exciting day already and I need to wind down. So if we can just kind of feel our heart, whether we put our hands over our heart and actually feel the pulsing, every heartbeat is just doing miraculous things throughout your body. So if you can feel and honor that and purposely breathe in joy and beauty and love and gratefulness. And anything that is not serving you right now, fear, frustration, jealousy, unworthiness, whatever that is, you just breathe it out. And then that void, you breathe in love and trust and honor and miraculousness of the body. And then out again with another layer of whatever just doesn't belong in our body because it's not natural for us to feel anything but love. So I'm going to be quiet for about a month. Yes. A month. I'm going to be quiet. So this will be interesting. How about a minute? You need to move something, wiggle something out. You feel tension that is releasing. I'm sure that emotion that you just breathed out is tied to that part of the body. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's just a great story. So, as we sit in our loving heart as best we can with current circumstances, we can now kind of connect energetically. Because, Amy, you're in Michigan or close to.
Correct.
Okay. So
Yep.
you and I are closer. So our
Mhm.
love vibrations will bounce off each other, but we're both going to be sending down to Florida, Courtney, some love. And ours are going to hit and expand maybe in, I don't know, Pennsylvania or someplace. I don't know my countries very well. And then it's just going to spread all over and then pick up anybody else that is just sitting, meditating, and in a loving, creative mode. And this ripple effect, that's the what happens that we don't see. So at least I believe that. So I like that story. So, and now we are one. Okay, let's start with Amy's story. Do you want to start with? So Amy, just I'll do the setup. You got some tools, some 0 point energy tools
Yeah.
from Amwell, and you just got them last Wednesday.
Yeah, I've had them a week.
Okay, they came in quickly. Great.
Yeah, in fact, I'm like, where did I put that wand?
Yeah, it ends up in cushions. It ends up in the pen department. Um,
Yeah, I just had it. Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know that I have much of a story yet, but I have noticed, if you remember, I injured my left leg or my left knee, right ankle, because I twisted the ankle. And when I got them, um, I'm normally tired because I'm resolving a lot of programs. Um, but I was more tired because I'm healing. So I literally just taped each one to to each leg,
Mhm.
one near the ankle, one near the knee. And um, I mean, it's been healing really well. Is it healing faster? Probably. But one thing I have noticed, like right now, there's a kitty next to me. And this kitty started sleeping next to me when I got my wands, which I was impressed with. Um, I have a pendant. I bought that value pack.
Okay.
Oh, this
Nice.
is the AFT pendant.
Yep.
So I'm just getting used to like having a necklace on all the time.
Yep.
Um,
Very
yeah.
similar to this. Okay.
So, and my one wand, what I did last night, like 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, I said, I don't want these on my leg anymore because I literally had them taped to my leg for 5 days.
Hmm.
I when I was in the shower, I let the tape come off and then put them back on after the shower. And um I was surprised that it was okay for 5 days, like that I didn't mind that they were there.
Yep.
But at the end of 5 days, I was like, yeah, I don't want this here anymore. And I'm like, okay, take it off.
Hmm.
Um and I guess I don't have big story, but yet. But last night, um, I let's see, last night I put each wand on one of my dogs. And so I didn't have it on me at all. The night before, one dog had one, and I'm trying to remember what I did with the other one. It was probably next to the bed, I think. But what I noticed the last 2 nights is I had fibro pain in my legs and having trouble falling asleep. And I had started to notice prior to that, I didn't have the fibro pain. So I'm gonna have to experiment with this
Hmm.
because last night was the first night that I didn't have a wand on me at all or near me.
Hmm.
I mean, the dog sleeps right next to me, but it's on his collar. And my other dog, who's outside during the day, I thought, well, I'll use that wand during the day and then I'll put it on her at night, which I did last night. So I just find it interesting that last night I'm laying in bed and I'm like, I have fibro pain and I have a lot of devaluation conflicts from childhood. So I'm just wondering if it's helping me with that. Um, and if you have any, I'm still looking for the wand I had.
So
Like,
for the
where
sake
did I put
of
that?
getting out of
Here it is.
names, describe
Hmm.
the pain. And I want to do a little GNM. So think about
Okay,
describing the pain, but I'm going to do this first.
sure.
I'm going
Um,
wait,
yeah, it's
just a
muscle.
second.
It's muscle. Oh,
I want to have a
sure.
visual. I have to
And I
move
found my wand.
my screen around very quickly. And I'm going to pull this out of the way. Okay. So for the sake of anybody that might have stumbled upon, oop, that's the wrong button. You want to read my messages? Anybody that might have just stumbled upon this and is like, what are they talking about? Fibro pain, blah, blah, blah. So a little GNM 101, not oops. This is I'm working with 11-year-old, and this is a little game that I'm playing with because he has some digestive issues. So isn't it cute?
Yes.
Anyway, that was an accident, but no accident on the toilet. Okay, so GNM 101. So I'm going to work backwards. When somebody says, so as a practitioner, as a teacher of German New Medicine, which is not a therapy, it is an understanding of why we go through what they call a disease process. So when somebody said, I have structural pain, fibro pain, I'm like, okay, there is a healing event. Yay! And so future, we want to praise when we have pain because it's a new signal that some shit's gone. Sorry for sharing. We were just on the toilet, so that's all programmed together. So fibro pain is or let's just say pain, and Amy's going to describe what the fibro pain feels like, because there's stabby pain, there's burny pain, there's pressure pain, there's pinchy pulley pain, there is, did I say burning pain? There's all these specific pains that each detail tells me or anybody that knows GNM or knows how to navigate the safe websites, the layer of tissue, the organ tissue that is in repair. So, but pain, structural pain, is always a healing event. So praise the pain. So from what? Something just got resolved. So if, let's say, Amy had it and she's like, Deanna, I need a little emergency session, I just triggered pain, I'd be going, what just happened? Tell me what you did today. Bam, 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 bam. Tell me the good things. Tell me the bad things. And in her story, if I let her talk long enough, I will hear what went good. Finally, I got to go for a walk, got to blah, blah, blah. The story will show up. So pain or fibro pain, actually, let's do it this way. Amy, describe your fibro pain. What does that feel like?
It's typically in my legs. It can be in other areas, but it's typically leg muscles. And I will feel it a lot. It's there like underneath. That's the best way I can describe it. What during the day, like I'm out doing things, but
Mhm.
I also notice when it's active, I can have a hard time getting going during the day because I'm more focused on I need to get up, I need to do stuff, but it's there underneath. And what I noticed at night after I've had my day and I've been up and moving and walking my dogs and doing lots of activities around the house, um, when I lay down and my muscles relax, that's when I will feel it. And a lot of times I'll take a gummy that just knocks some of that pain off so I don't feel it as I'm trying to fall asleep.
Mhm.
Um, and it can be burning, but usually it's this underlying ache is the best way I can describe it. And it runs through the muscle. And um when I feel it during the day, if I'm real tired during the day, I'll say, okay, I'm going to go lay down for 45 minutes or something. And I'll start to feel better during that 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. And I'll sit up and I'll be watching something or playing euchre or something like that. And I'll feel this heat come in the muscle. And it's this intense heat. And it's happened so many times over the last 20 some years that I know that I'm in healing phase B. That is when the heat is coming in. And I just got to sit here for about 20 more minutes and it'll finish. And I'll be like, okay, that muscle's healed and I can get up and move. Um, but many times it takes days, weeks to get healing phase B to finish. I had a lot of devaluation in childhood, tremendous amount I've learned. I've started to say, oh yeah, there was a trillion programs. Um, and as I move forward in my life, I keep coming into resolution. And some days I have no idea what I resolved. Some days I'm like, oh, I just got up and I moved, and yeah, I must have resolved programs because I'm moving forward. And then some days, like recently, I had just saw family this past weekend, and I'm 56 years old, and I've been saying for the first time in 56 years, I have mastered how to handle the people, the family members that started these programs for me when I was really, really little. And the power dynamic has shifted. And I've been doing a lot of emotional healing and really understanding biological law number 5 as to why this all happened. And as I realize I needed to get stronger and no, we're not going to do it that way, or and I was caught up in bioaggressive constellation. And as I healed that constellation, I would find sometimes I would trigger the territorial anger program, not the constellation, but just the program. And I was like, oh yeah, anger is not serving me at all here. And so I had to heal it enough where the anger would not get triggered. And I would be able to deal with it in a microsecond. And I noticed I did a really big healing session in July with this lady that I work with. And since then, there's been a bunch more healing. And so this past week, there was this huge, oh my gosh, I just mastered how to deal with this. So it doesn't surprise me that things are coming into healing. And I have to add, during this event with family, I had the wands taped to each leg, and then I was wearing the AFT pendant. And afterwards, I was like, wow, that went really well. So, I mean, was it part of it? Yes, I'm sure it was. There's no way that I can prove what it was. I had done work in July that there's a lot of healing happening from, like I mentioned, but I was reading a little bit last night that the pendants and the wands, Deanna, maybe you can describe it better than me. They hold our energy better. They keep us, yes, they're
Yeah.
drawing stronger energy to us. I've received like 10 emails since ordering these, and I haven't read hardly much. Um, I'm one of those people that is very, very busy, and then I'm healing so many programs, I'm tired. And so this has been so helpful just to, I don't have to do anything. Tape it to my leg and move on. So I love that. Put the pendant on, move on. So, um, yeah, great things have been happening in the last week. Excuse me. Um, Including this little kitty next to me. She's here right now, which I adopted her 7 years ago, and she's a scaredy, scaredy, scaredy kitty. Like scared of her own shadow. When I would sneeze, she would start to attack me if she was near me. And she has become the most cuddly cat in the last week. That shocked me too. And I've noticed every time I've done yoga or got on the floor and done stretches or something, she's always drawn to that energy. I have definitely noticed that. So something has changed in the past week with the wands and the pendant. And I've noticed she even is a little more cuddly with the dog that has the pendant on as well. I have the classic pendant on him. And anyway, so yeah, so and Deanna, last night I was on the call with the other two in our group,
Yep.
and I have Maya, my other dog, who's gets really scared in the car. So we've decided I'm going to put this pendant on her in the car.
Mhm.
Um, I tried wanding her last time we got in the car, and she did better. But then I hit a rumble strip, which I couldn't avoid in the
Right.
construction zone, and she
Right.
freaks out. So I think she needs this on her. So I'll try that and
Yep.
report back.
Yep.
So, so yeah, that's pretty much a synopsis of anyway,
Okay.
fibro pain,
Okay.
and
Cool.
so yeah. But I will
Mm.
try keeping one of these on me at night for the fibro pain and report back.
Yeah.
So,
So a little bit of tweak. So when I hear, and I took some notes, um, so the heat, you feel the heat coming on. So a little bit of tweaking of where that happens. Heat is up here. That's, and then when the heat, because heat inflammation is healing. The microbes need the heat, the tissue needs the heat and the moisture.
yep,
Like we know healing goes on in a moist and warm environment. So the heat is actually here and you feel it, which is great. So then you know GNM, which is great. And
yep,
now you have these tools. So
yep,
when, like what I would encourage, just upping that a little bit when you feel it coming on, actually
mhm,
do the clockwise circles
okay,
over it. Thank the body. Look at how amazing this is. Let's move through
yep,
this. This is beautiful. And you will feel the heat going down. And then what happens, and this is another tweak of the understanding, after our muscle, which is a self devaluation, the muscle has had some kind of shock. I'm not strong enough. I'm not enough. So, whatever the story is, there is a breakdown of cell during that stressful time, appropriately to how stressed, how long, whatever. So, if we have short little conflicts by day, Then we resolve them by going to sleep. We can run this program every single day of our life. So when we add this knowledge and we go, oh, all right, so I know that I'm healing. Yep, check that box. I know I'm in the peak of healing. Check that box. Then when the healing comes down, the body performs this surgical kind of thing. And it says, don't move this tissue. Tightness is part of the scarification. So the tissue is repairing. So these cells that broke down here are being rebuilt, strengthened. So the first part of this healing phase is rest. So you're sleeping and you're fatigued because your body says, well, if I give you energy, you're going to use this leg, this muscle. You may not use this muscle. So I am going to make you tired. I am going to make you not hungry in this first part of the healing phase B. Because if you're hungry, you have to go to the refrigerator, therefore you will use the muscle. We are not going to allow you to do that. Sleep, my friend, it says. And then as it moves through, you will feel tightness. So the tightness is kind of like if we were to go say, oh, I need a cast on my foot. That's what the tightness is. It says, okay, we are in the peak of this rebuilding this new tissue. Don't move. We're almost there, almost there. And then it will relax. So you can literally wand your body. Like if this process usually takes 20 minutes or whatever, you can wand as long as your arm feels energetic and then tape it on along with I know this has to go through the tightness. I know I have to not move it. I know I need to honor this leg and allow it to move through the scarification process and over time get back to full usage. So that getting back is tricky because our leg is playing a role in everything we do when we have dogs and they need to go out. So it becomes a little bit of, so the next morning you wake up, it's a little tight. It's like, okay, I see you're tight. We're still in the surgical procedure. I will be very careful. And I understand that this is critical for this phase. So the old of, I can't get up fast enough. I can't move fast enough. Like that, I know you, based on your story, you're working on changing that. Because just that frustration of not being able to move faster can continue or at least interrupt the speed of which we heal. So it's all those little pieces. But the critical piece is tightness is healing. And I know with a 30-year-old story around my back that started when it was 11, 12, I know my normal go-to is go, I'll stretch and go, oh, yep, it's tight. But I've programmed myself to go, okay, you're tight. Great, 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 great. And then get on with life and try not to stress my back out. But I used to go, oh, the tightness. Oh, I'm so tight. Breakdown, breakdown, breakdown. Let's start at the very beginning. So this is
I
why
will
people
add,
get stuck in a pain loop because the pain creates self-devaluation. I can't move fast enough. I'm not enough. Why am I not healing through this? So these tools and the knowledge together is a beautiful combination.
yeah, I was going to add, I always think that epicrisis, like, because what'll happen right before the heat is some intense pain. And
Yes.
I think that's my epicrisis, but I don't know. I always think
All
healing
people.
phase B is I
Yes.
was always taught it's the warm phase, but maybe the epicrisis is the pain. I
It
don't know.
is the warm phase, but inflammation always happens in the epicrisis. So the water
Okay.
is most on the site. The fevers happen at the epicrisis.
Okay.
So it's all particularly necessary. And it is very possible just with this little tweak and some of the fine tunings. Like I've worked with so many digestive people that there are some things that are not just, oh, you're healing phase. Like there's some particular pieces, like not wanting to eat. That
Yep.
is on purpose. You're literally having a
Yep.
surgery inside. We don't need a piece of meat going by and going scraping the tissue. So the body says, don't eat now. Go to sleep. It's literally like you just had surgery and you're moved to the first room. And then you're moved to where you just have a little sip of water. Then you move to the second. They give you some applesauce. Then they give you the script that says, don't move this part of your body. So we are magical, amazing surgical processes here. So, and one other thing I might just offer. Um, if you've been saying fibro pain, change that word. Find a fun way to describe with a whole new, like, miraculous, here comes my miraculous pain, because fibro pain has a lot of story to it.
Yeah, you're right.
So you
Okay.
want to up that vibe of that story, create a new story, and go, now that I know what I didn't know back then, I am going to praise, honor, like dance around my symptoms without dancing on my foot, leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what I love about so many programs, especially the bone muscle ones, and it's not just those programs, we're stronger at the end of the healing phase.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, as soon as you said that, I'm like, I got to come up with some I'm stronger pain,
Yeah.
however I want to phrase that,
Do you use
because
chat at all? Do you use
yeah, and
GPT?
I'm sorry,
Do you use chat GPT at all?
I haven't, no.
Okay. It's fun to experiment with. There's a free version,
Okay.
or I can
Yeah.
do it with you, whatever. You just put in, I know GNM, so you give them that. I have had fibromyalgia, you can put it in quotes.
Uh-huh.
I am trying to change my fibro words to something a little bit higher vibration, praise. And so give me 5, 10 different ways that I can say this, and I'll pick my favorite combination.
Okay.
And
I'll play
then
with
when
that.
you feel the pain, you're like, yay, here comes the pain, or sing a
Yeah.
song, or anytime you can get any part of your psyche or all parts of your psyche involved in it. I'll show another tool that I use a lot with the people that I work with. I'm really glad to be doing this because it's what I'm here for. So this is a little visual master, the art of personal vibration. We are all a vibrating being. So when we have chronic stuff, we many times we have shame as part of that. Powerlessness, we can't get answers, fear, anger, rage. So all these are lower vibrations. It's a lower. And then when we learn GNM, it's like, okay, this pain still isn't fun, but we have kind of the courage. And courage, my definition is, I know I can get through it. I may not know how just yet. So it's that line that separates the low vibration to the empowering vibration. So then, and there's all kinds of descriptions in between. So neutrality, finding like, oh, this pain is okay. It's just as like the leg is good when it's painful. It's good when it's not painful. It's neutral. The acceptance of symptoms, the acceptance of why it happened, reasoning, love, joy. So when you can add, like, to me, when I've actually programmed myself when pain comes on, I start with, because we usually gasp and we go, oh, but I've programmed myself to go, yay, and just like elation, because I know something is just healed. So I don't have that shock of, oh, shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can do this in play, especially when we know that our bodies are so intelligently designed. We're just misunderstanding them. So if you can love and joy and be silly, silly with your symptoms after so long of a story, that's going to that in itself is going to be a resolve for any underlining a lying self-devaluation.
Yeah, you're right. I love that chart, by the way. Enlightened is the right word. Enlightened pain. So, I actually, while you were headed up, I was going there. Oh, wow, I see how I went right through that progression, especially with that family member, that it's like, oh, okay, yep, I see where I am much more at joy, peace, enlightened. And I'm actually helping my niece get there as well because she's struggling as well in the same way I did. Um, so yeah, I love that chart. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can definitely. I've shared at different places, but yeah, I can get this to you, or just send me a message. Um, so the other thing. So what happens when we wear a pendant that is 0 point? So 0 point is source energy. Actually, let me pause. Courtney, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay, we're still sending you love.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So, what 0 point energy is just a vibration. It's a vibration that was discovered by Einstein when he was looking down in a microscope and seeing all this black space. And this is my interpretation of his story, without all the details. Um, so that black space was like nothing, they thought at first, but it actually is the source of everything. It's where, so the vibration of that is perfection, is, and I will say, God's perfection, the love, the highest vibration. Let's just say on our chart, the 1,000. So when we're living life and there's a hit and there's a hit and we're fearful, we're running, most people, our world mostly is below 200. We are living in constant bombardment of fear, powerlessness, frustration, like all those low vibrations. So I notice firsthand the people that have gotten these um, products, and some don't even know GNM. They have gone through spiritual shifting, like I'll say relatively quickly, like noticeable. So for you to say, wow, I was with my family and it seemed to go so much easier because you are, every time you're basically vibrating out those fearful, the blah, 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 you're also having less symptoms so that you're gaining more confidence, raise the vibration. And so this is emanating love, right? And you know that it's a longer chain and it's right around your heart.
Yep.
So not by accident, by design. So
Okay.
that is emanating, and I reading this book, Life and Teaching of the Masters of the Far East. And there's a description that God sits right behind your heart. God is all over, but also is within, as above, so below, we've probably heard. So, and God is pure love, right? And we were designed in the perfection of Him. And we used to live 800 years. Why? Because we were just living off the land and we knew that God was within. I'm giving you the summary of the 3 books that I've read. And it's just my opinion. You don't have to accept it. But when we understand that God is within and we are that, I am that I am, like we are the creator. We create our world and we're meant to create and make beautiful things. Like Courtney created these earrings.
Awesome. Beautiful.
Yes, they are. So we are made to create different things. Amy is creating and dispelling a lot of the family ripples that we're not serving. So there is no accident on that. You're doing the work for past and future generations. So having the constant energy on you is kind of like, why not? Like, I need all the energy that I can get.
Mhm.
And I'm going to show you. I am a gatherer of products. Like, I bought a lot of these products along like years ago. This was the first pendant I ever bought, and it probably was in a pack. Still going. These two I bought. I think they were having a buy one get one free. Same energy, but a little prettier design. This one was gifted to me from the company just recently. I haven't actually worn it very much because they told me I probably should take it off at shower time. Like, I ain't got time for that. Then, of course, the wands. So, a little description on the wands. These are the original ones. They're a lower energy, still very great. It's nice, smooth tip. And you can search for 0 point energy wands and find a lot of these, but they're knockoffs. A true Omega wand or Amwell wand has a serial number at the top. They made a mistake when they first started their company. They didn't patent this design.
Ooh.
So it was stolen. And so literally anything could be in the other ones. So I trust Amwell. That's why obviously I'm speaking about it. The next one that they created, this is kind of my all-purpose favorite. This is called the Black Tip Wand. This has higher energy than the classic, but it's designed the same way. This, wait, the original one, when I had a friend that could feel energy. I can't generally. And he said the original one goes about 12 to 14 feet. So if we basically did this in a hotel room, we were at a conference, and he's like, back up, back up, back up, back up. And he's like, okay. So it seemed to be around 12 feet. Then we did this one because these were the only two that were created by then. And this one went, oh, I'm having a block. Was it about 20 feet? Something like that. So considerably stronger. And when somebody can feel energy, they can actually feel. So this one, I had a little educational session with somebody from the company. They said, this one, okay, if you're going to wand, so we'll talk, sorry, I'm all over. I haven't done this yet in a while. So if you wand water, food, it energizes the food. So to wand with this black tip, we were taught 45 seconds to a minute, which we all got that. We can say a praise. Same thing with this. So about a minute with the older styles. This new pointy one, this is the strongest one. And it's nine revelations. Revelations. 9 times around. And it's energized. So this one is the strongest. It does have a different clip that won't fall off so easy, but also is sometimes hard to get off if you've got it on pants. I went for a walk yesterday and trying to resolve some of my back tightness. So I stuck these on the back of my yoga pants, and they stayed the whole time and don't stab because they have a nice tip. So that's a little bit about the 3 wands. Now, there's another.
I'm going to jump in and just add, I
Yeah,
am really impressed how strong the clips are
yeah,
because I've had pens before or like pens. I actually had a recorder, a little pen recorder, and the clip fell off.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can't use it now because I can't keep it in place. So I'm clipping these on the dog's collar last night thinking, oh, that's nice and strong,
Okay.
which I
Good.
really like. So,
Good.
and thank you for the reminder of food. I forgot about that one.
Yes. Food,
So,
water, plants.
Ooh, okay.
I got when I lived in a different place, I got their water system. It was quite an investment, but we had really horrible water, and water was important to us. So I invested and started watering, and they had different settings for the acidicness. I started watering my plants with the water, and I was like, oh, one like literally overnight just blossomed like I hadn't seen
Wow.
like since I got it. So it's very interesting. And I have not been doing a lot other than wanding myself for about 5 years. And you guys know why. So these are really fun tools. Um, these are heavy copper, real copper tools. So they warm up nicely. So if I want to give myself a massage, I'll put them underwater and use any kind of, whether it's coconut oil, and I'll rub my back. Um, and it's warming, and these are also energized. Yeah, you can hear the crystals, diamond dust that hold the energy, but these are also really, really, really handy. So I think that's all the tools that I have today. They also have jewelry and some nutritionals. The fiber, if anybody has a hard time going to the bathroom, their fiber is really, it's tasty and it's very, very effective. Um, so, um, any questions? We have about, I want to go to the top of the hour, and I love telling stories. So I have a couple of my favorite stories. Any questions?
I don't have a question. I was just going to say there's a lot of products that I purchased and that when I find when I go, gosh, why didn't I order this sooner? It's a good one. And that's how I feel about this one. I was actually telling one of our other friends about this last night, who was looking into block therapy, which is also great. I was like, but what's really good about this one is you just put it on and you're done.
That's the
You
thing.
can
You
do
can do the
wanding with it,
wanding,
but
you
yeah,
can do the wanding, but when you're
but it's not like I have to
like
learn a new program. I don't have to do a lot of time investment, which I don't have a lot of time. So that's what I love about this. So,
the other thing you can do is we now know that the relay, so our psyche tells the relay and the body part to heal or to break down tissue or whatever. So the psyche's running the show. The brain tissue and the organ tissue are taking orders. So when I do a group event, I mean, you can see that I've got 4 of these. I usually have the owner operator that we're working on, that we're giving this energy, hold these. And if, depending on their symptom, we all circle around this person. We want their brain, we want their body, their spine, every single cell of their body gets energized with source, well, mimic source energy. Source is God. He is the only, but there is a vibration to God. We know that. It's perfection. So that's all that this does, is it mimics that vibration. Just like if we were going to sing, if I was going to sing this song, this note, and somebody perfectly matched it, that's a perfect match. So, want a story? You want my best story? My best story for me was I I will tell my story using the G&M compass. Knock this down. So I had an unexpected event where I had to move out of a house. I was ready to go to sleep, and then the person said, I don't know, you need to leave. And bam, there's my shock. Now, we never know where the shock hits until we go after the resolve. then our body tells us, oh, I can't digest this, blah, blah, blah. So the symptoms show up and then you can make sense of it. So I had the shock, you need to leave. So I was in a house, 3 big bedrooms. My kids still had their stuff there. I had an exercise room, my business room, which I was doing holistic healing. Um, it was a big shock, and I don't tend to ask for help. Um, so I didn't know what programs were running, but I knew when I moved in finally to the place that I was living and moved the last couch in, I was like, I know my psyche well enough that that is going to be, then things are going to show up. So my sons helped me move the couch in. And it was probably 3 months of conflict activity. I knew it. I downgraded as much as I can, trust the process, let's move. I asked for help when I needed, but mostly moved myself. So you listen to my story when I tell you what symptoms showed up. So conflict resolved by moving the last piece of furniture in. Ah, glad that's over. I'm home. Get tired, and peak of healing is my right hip was burning pain like I had never ever felt before. It was probably a 9 plus. So at the time, I was like, okay, too much to bear. Partner side, yep, that makes perfect sense. I had 4 of these. We didn't have the brand new ones. So I think I had two, I don't know. I had 4 of these. I basically, let's pretend this is my pain. I put them all around, pointing the point to the pain, because the energy, it's all in this, but the energy goes out the tip. And I took a sleeping aid and I went to sleep. So I went to bed in a 9 and I woke up in a 0.5 and was like, oh, that was nice to sleep through. And I don't remember the healing story part, but basically, I had 3 months of conflict over the hump, and I had the strategies to move through without feeling the pain. That was beautiful. That's my personal best. So there's another story when my brother and I, he lives about an hour from here and he knows all kinds of sick people. So he got one of these. And so he just started talking and he gets very passionate about something. It's genetic. And so he basically set up a day where we went house to house to house and we wanted people. So this one woman had had chronic pain in her brain for, I think, 15 years. She had gone all over the US. She had experienced all sorts of healing modalities. Still, the pain on a good day was 4 to 5. On a bad day was 8 to 9. So here, John, lumberjack of the year, and me show up. He starts wanding her head. So she was like a 6, a 7 that day. Starts wanding for about 15 minutes. We wanded some water. She took a drink of water, wanded 15 more minutes. And when we left, she was down to a 2. And she's like, if it never gets any better, I can live with that. So what happened over the course of time, she ordered a wand, came to me, I think a week later. I had 2. I had her wand and my wand, and I wanded her head. Missed a step. She had black tar diarrhea a couple hours after we left. I don't know exactly what that was. I've never really actually broken it apart, but the symptom, oh, what's that? So she comes to me a week or 2 later, and I won her again. And on the way, she had a doctor's appointment. On the way, or she got right to her destination, she had another black tar diarrhea event, and the pain, as far as I know, has been gone since. Like, that is just amazing.
Yeah, it helped her completely resolve the program.
Whatever was, I mean, when I hear something on the brain, it felt like a poisoning. I know brain tissue can't go through the digestive tract. I like that doesn't happen, but there was some kind of digestive program. And it'd be very interesting to go back and get the GNM perspective to make sense of when it started and the timeline and everything. But that gave her life back. Less than the regular wand was the black tip was like 280 then, and so that gave her life back. And I have over 1,000 stories because I used to do health fairs and just put a sign, got pain, leave it here. And we do wandings. And there's been only one person in this whole time where it didn't help, but he was so against it that he didn't want to get rid of his pain. So he left with it. So babies love this. And as you said, Amy, the animals are really drawn to it. I was walking down, I was in Vermont visiting my daughter, and I had the wand in my pocket. And I went by this lady and a dog, and the dog came up and put his ear right on my pocket. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Never does that." I'm like, "Does he have an ear issue?" "Yeah, we just got back from the vet. He's got an ear infection." I'm like, "Well, this is a healing tool." And he felt
Yeah.
the energy. I should have had my card and said, "Get one." And save you vet bills.
Hmm.
So that was a funny. But yes, animals do recognize it. I've walked into many houses, and the animals come right to me, and the parents are like, "I've never seen that, and I've never seen that cat. He's always in the cellar." So lots of funny stories. So it definitely raises your vibration. And what that does when you're navigating these life challenges is you have a better, at least this is my interpretation, you have a higher vibration. So you have the ability to handle things differently and not be shocked so much because you're just not on that channel anymore. So the more you get on it, and then that opens up trusting your, it's a positive feedback loop. As you start trusting, you start doing more that you love, people start interacting with you differently because you're presenting differently, and then it just becomes this really beautiful ripple effect.
Yeah, I actually have a funny story from yesterday. Um, Lots of trauma with this one family member, and we're planning like we're gonna get together for dinner on Friday. And I'm thinking, I decided months ago that family members no longer welcome at my house, but the interaction last weekend went so well. Um, and I'm setting things up differently. I have a cousin of mine who's always going to be present with me, so I'm not alone because the dynamic completely changes when there's an outside third party there. And so I'm setting this up for Friday. I'm like, God, this is going so well. And I've complimented this family member before, but it never gets received. And so yesterday they say, "What would you like me to bring?" And my immediate response, which was shocking to me, was, "Oh, just bring your pleasant self." And I'm like, did I just say that? And I meant it as show up with being pleasant. And they took it as, "Oh my gosh, thank you. You just told me I was pleasant." And I was like, well, that's not exactly the way I meant it. But the interaction was just so easy. And I thought, wow. In fact, my cousin who went with me last weekend was for a couple days, we're both like, wow, that was really easy. Why was that so easy? I don't know. It just was really easy. So I am definitely noticing changes. Can I prove it's the one? No, but I can give you years. I know I'm in a different place to where I'm ready for this. That's obviously what happened here
Yeah.
because,
What happened
yeah,
first, we don't know. So it's just like,
yep,
okay,
yep,
that's fun. I'll take more of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
yep, exactly.
No.
So it's nice to be in this place. Because you've talked about these ones. I mean, I've known you for like 7 years, and we started calls about 5 years ago. And I don't remember when you started talking about these, but you and another Michelle, our other friend, was talking about these, and I just wasn't drawn to them.
Mhm.
And it's just interesting how all of a sudden I went, oh my gosh, I have to have one of these when you brought it up. And I don't know, it amazes me how when you're ready, like this can be in your stratosphere for years, and then you go, oh, I have to have that. So anyway,
Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
yep,
Okay.
all good things.
So I thought, just right now, I thought, so on Wednesdays, I might keep it at noon. I might move the time. I might do two of these calls because we can talk about G&M, but we need some tools because healing is not fun. So having some very handy, reasonable, they're always on and they're bought and paid for. If you don't use them, you got them. So it's like the best money I've ever spent in anything. So if you're asking anybody for something, say, can you give me a wand? Even like this one, I think there's a buy one get one free, and you can get it for less than $100. The package that Amy was talking about is the pendant, the the new wand and an old wand. For I just ordered one for a client, and it was $318 for all
Yep.
three. That is an amazing deal. Like that is half of a month of insurance or a third of a month of insurance for people that are not insured. And that wasn't a sell to you, Courtney. I know you are, but it would help you so much. Every family, like my joke is, when I own my own universe, people will know G&M and they'll get their own wand upon birth. So anyway, um, we ultimately have the power to handle any situation and heal through anything. But if we entertain ourselves with a tool that actually energizes and does what it says, then so be it. So next week, I would like to talk about energizing our chakras,
Cool.
um,
Cool.
facials that you can give. Yeah, with the other end. So the energy, let me
And-
do a little bit.
Okay,
This is where most of the energy comes out.
got
So,
it.
yeah, when I went to a conference when they first came out with these, they actually showed us how to do a facelift with two, and you just
Mm,
up, up, up,
okay.
up, 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 up. So I have I whistle a lot, so I have what I call whistling winkles. So I just had this really nice remedy. It's sensitive salve, whatever. So I was just kind of wanding my little winkles and loving them, not self-devaluing, because that will
Yeah.
create more. So just loving my whistling winkles. And if they stay forever, well, and they go, did she smoke? Nope, she whistled. All right, that was fun. What was the best message you learned today, Amy?
Um, for me, just telling my experience with since receiving these, I'm really realizing how much they're helping me. So
Okay,
just talking about it. So I appreciate the time to do that.
good. Courtney, is there any takeaway or you just want to say thank you, Deanna? She might be going to get some tea. All right, we'll let Courtney be. Yes, good, Courtney. I'm glad you came. You are fully supported and loved. You are a beautiful being. And as everything is a bump, we get through those. And at fifth biological law, We're stronger on all levels, not just our body. Our psyche is stronger when we get through it. Our brain's just receiving, but our organs are always stronger. So, sending you all love here at the sanctuary of the inner sound. Amy, you haven't seen my new space. This is my,
I actually have seen a lot of your posts on Facebook. So yeah, I keep telling Michelle and Ashley we have to do a road trip. Come see
I'm
you.
ready, ready, ready. Okay, perfect. Have a beauty filled day, everybody.
You too.
Recording stopped.